Shut up and sit down.
The Doug and Joe Show. Our 2 cents.
That you didn't even ask for.
They didn't ask? Should we keep going? The show about nothing and everything all at once.
Oh,
Not only are
you demanded it, you emailed, you Facebooked messages. You said, where the hell is Doug and Joe? Who's this new guy? I'm like, I don't know the new guy, but he's pretty cool. But I'm back.
not only are we back, we're back in video.
In video. So pretty.
And I still see you like that losing team, Montreal.
Oh, love. Hey, they lost in overtime, and Jacob has, kept his perfect record intact, at least in regulation. But we won't go there.
What about the game? They were beating the Leafs 3-0, and not you, but another Montreal fan was giving me the gears there about the score and everything. Yeah. And then your tough guy decided not to fight and wave at the scoreboard, and that was the end of that.
Well, you see what happened there was actually I was phone in hand, Douglas, ready to text you, what's the score of the Leaf game? And I went, you know what, I'm not going to text that. I'm going to delete. And I didn't text you, but I was going to. But I didn't, and I'm so glad I didn't because, we lost 7-3.
You did.
If we had Jacob in, I'm just saying, if we had Jacob in.
Well, it doesn't matter who you had in, you lost.
Well, that's the problem. We had the wrong goaltender in, but we won't go there. So we got a crazy topic today that I think we might be love or hated. We're going to have a 50-50 split, baby.
Guess we're going to find out.
Canada for sale. Oh, I was trying to get AI to spit out a picture, but the 51st state. First off, Doug, I want to premise this. You and Denise, for all you that don't know, is Doug's way better half, way better, are two of the most patriotic Canadians I've ever come across. They showed up at the truckers rally, the truckers protest in Ottawa, the worst one in history, so much violence and just disgusting, deplorable behavior with bouncy castles and So anyways, I just want to say, Doug, I know you don't like your horn tooted very much in public. In private, I don't care what you do, but I know you don't like your horn tooted, but you two are two of the most passionate Canadians I've ever met, and so I'd love to hear your opinion on it. I used to be I watched an interview of a gentleman that came here in the 1980s, 1984, I believe, from Iran to escape the tyranny that was Iran at the time, and they didn't get mad because they were invited to a neighbor's barbecue and they were cooking up pork. They integrated into Canada. They became Canadian. They embraced the culture. And he says what is happening now is they're coming in and saying, do it our way. I'm not speaking English. I'm not doing. He's like, speak English, come here and be Canadian. Don't come here and bring your crap from Iran and your crap from other places. Come here and be Canadian. And Canada isn't Canada anymore. So I'm going to be hated for this, Doug, but buy it. Be the 51st state. Buy it. Do it. I'm done. I am so done. 10 years of you Canucks voting in this tyrannical government that is just destroyed Canada.
Powerful. So listen. So where I grew up, like you said, there was people from all over that had come to Canada.
Scarborough.
Yep, Scarborough. I knew all sorts of people, Muslim, from all over the place. Japanese, Chinese, you name it, from everywhere. They they came, like you said, and integrated into Canada, but they also kept their own cultural stuff too.
Which I think they should.
Chinatown, Chinatown in Toronto, we used to go down there after the bars and go to Chinese foods at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and everything. I mean, if they didn't keep their stuff, their cultural stuff, that wouldn't be around, right?
Right.
And there's a lot of great food from all over the world. That's why
absolutely.
It looks so big when it gets so close to the camera.
Extreme close up.
But I think the important thing you said there is don't bring your shit here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bring your squabbles and your wars and expect us to
and extreme ideologies like, hey, let's cut off the women's blue. Like, no, stop.
There's going to be a little more there's got to be a lot more common sense. So, I mean, and then enter Trudeau style of liberalism, which basically,
I'd almost rather the Iran tyranny. But anyways,
as soon as he got elected, he announces Canada is now a post-national state, and if you are patriotic, you're far right wing. You're a radical right wing patriotic, right? Canada is now inherently racist, and we're still very racist and systematically racist, and we've committed genocides, and all bad, and tear down, Mackenzie King, and tear down this guy, and tear down that guy, and change the name of this place because sometime 100 years ago he did this or that or everything, and just erase Canada because all of Canada's past is terrible. And then in one tweet, Trump all of a sudden turns all these radical left-wing, open borders and one world citizens into far right-wing patriots. Just like that. All of a sudden they're all Canadian patriots. Funny shit.
funny shit. I mean, Canada's broken. They literally said that there will be Sierra law. Trudeau, Big Daddy Trudeau, said that we're no longer a Christian country. He's taken that out of the rhetoric. We're no longer a Christian country. We were considered a Christian country. Now he's taken that away. I hope Poilievre puts it back when he gets back in office. I hope he does.
Well, you know what?
It means something.
You know what Pierre Poilievre said in an interview not too long ago when there was a reporter, legacy media guy, grilling him on genders. Oh, there's only two genders. Trump said there's only two genders. Oh, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And, he kind of played around with the reporter at first, and then eventually he came out and he said, you know what? You do what you want to do. I'll do what I want to do. Cool. It's not the government's business to be in people's personal lives. And if the liberals and you left want to keep talking about all that shit, he's going to focus on poverty, crime, making better paychecks, all that stuff that matters to every single person in Canada, right?
Desperately need right now.
So, I mean, all that other stuff is just meant to divide everybody.
It's division politics for sure. My question is CBC the Canadian CNN?
No, I think they're worse.
They're worse. That is a statement of the ages. Worse than CNN? Because CNN is pretty bad.
Yeah, but the CBC, especially like the news side of it, anyways.
Yes, the news side. Yes.
They've been funneled money from this liberal government in excess of billions of dollars, and Bell Media and CTV and other ones too, and what did Bell Media do after they got that huge sum of money from Trudeau? Laid off everybody anyways, right? Oh. Not all the news out there is all like, but they do definitely push or lean towards liberal left-wing talking points. But hey, they're paying the bills for them, so it was wrong for them to do
used to
it.
be partisan. It used to be, here's what the situation is, here's what the left says, here's what you make your decision. And it's not now. Even Fox. I love Fox, but they're too Trump side.
Yeah, I don't think CNN. Well, I don't know if the news down in the States was subsidized or not. Could have been behind everybody's backs. Who knows?
Yeah.
Here, it's definitely, we know about it. In fact, before one of the elections with Trudeau, he gave them all sorts of millions of dollars during the election campaign. So, like, please, anyways, yeah, defund the media. The media shouldn't be paid by taxpayers' dollars. The media can go get their funding from advertisement and everything else, like everybody else has to do.
And most of us get our news from social media and make our own decision now.
Well, exactly. Well, that's why they want to cancel social media too, right? Because it gets different words out. Now I can go to the source.
Yes,
this guy's an anti-vaxxer because he said this. Okay, let me go right to the source and see exactly what he said, and then I'll make up my mind.
Yeah. And that's the way it should be. You should go to the source and do the investigations yourself. Don't be lazy and just watch the news that is opinionative. Go check it out. But speaking of opinions, I mean, everyone, it's like assholes. Everyone's got one, right? Well, most of us.
Including us.
It could be the 64th gender that doesn't, but my opinion, you do the math on that, Douglas.
Like before you go there.
Okay.
Remember your thought, but before you go there, I read a little thing or saw a little thing that when this little sperm first enters the egg.
Thanks for the graphic. Maybe the boys and girls should leave the room for the moment.
Go ahead. That little light goes bing. The first thing that grows is the asshole.
Really?
Everybody is an asshole at one point in their life. Everybody starts as an asshole anyways. Some of us finish as an asshole, so.
I'm currently.
Okay, go on with your thought.
So, this is an opinion, but this all happened, the 51st state, because of a meeting with our buddy, our good pal, Justin Trudeau. So this is how, I wasn't in the meeting. Let's make that clear. I wasn't in the meeting. Hence my prerequisite of it was an opinion. He is such a weak man. Nothing out of his mouth is truth. That the conversation went something like this. Like, please, Mr. Trump, don't do this to us. We're so broke. We need money. We need to help Ukraine. Please. And then he said, he wasn't before the meeting thinking of this, but he says, maybe I should help Canada. I bought a house in Toronto. Maybe I should help Canada, and maybe you should be the 51st state, Governor Trudeau. I mean, that's just opinion. That's speculative, folks, but I really think that's how the meeting went. What do you think of that? I know. That's an opinion. I don't know.
Trump owns a house in Toronto?
I heard so. I don't know if it's true. I mean, I didn't dive into it, but I heard that he did buy a house in Toronto. So, probably for a small fortune of lots of money. Because, I mean, we should have a whole episode on Olivia Chow, though. Holy man, let's tax the rain. How can you rain? We must tax the citizens. We must tax the citizens on the rain.
Well, I will tell you this. Toronto has been not raising taxes for a long time, keeping the taxes low.
Fair.
With all their mayors previously. Their infrastructure is screwed now. They don't have money to it. The problem with raising the taxes now is they're doing stupid things like, changing names of streets and squares and stuff instead of spending it where it needs to be spent. Right? That's the problem.
And that's the big thing. So we're taxed so much. Like Elon Musk is heading up the Doge division, Department of Efficiency,
government
whatever.
Efficiency.
Yeah. So
Doge.
Imagine, and I was a little young, so I might be remembering this wrong, but I remember when Prime Minister Martin had to take over. He wasn't elected. He was appointed because I think Chrétien stepped down or somebody did. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he first got into office, he bought this rug. It was like a $5,000 rug, and like a $300 hammer. And this was the news, and I'm like, okay, go to Home Hardware. There's a $19.99 on sale freaking hammer, and just watch where you're walking. Like, stop spending our fucking money on useless shit. My mother-in-law's gay. I love her, but there's gays and then there's radicalists, and we won't go there right now. But to spend a little town's money, $10,000 on a sidewalk for the rainbow flag, stop spending our money stupidly, and we won't have to be taxed through the frickin' wazoo. Like you said, changing the name of a street and doing these stupid things, we could live better. But you don't want it. You want to keep us down. I don't know why, but you do, and it's disgusting. We could live better.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with so many issues that we have out there, money can be spent way more efficiently and better, without a doubt. There's a movie. I can't think of the name of it. I'm just kind of looking it up now. But there's a movie about the U.S. president, and he's having an affair, and he has a heart attack. And they keep him alive on ventilators or whatever. A machine keeps him alive. And they find this lookalike. There's a comedian in town, and they bring him in to play as the president until they figure out what to do, right?
Is that with Chris Rock? Like something?
No.
Chris Rock,
No.
It's starting to ring a bell, though.
Sigourney Weaver is the wife and
Okay.
everything. Anyways, the wife kind of figures it out. Anyways, he goes into the meetings and all that. And at first, he's just supposed to do what, the higher ups tell him exactly what to do, right? And then they're in a budget meeting or whatever, and he's going, wait a second, $600 for a nut? Blah, 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 a nut and a bolt, and this much money for this and this much money for that. And he goes, why don't we, he starts slashing money and puts it on like a normal person's budget type of terms, which anybody can afford. And, and some of the people are going, oh, you can't do that. And he's going, hold on a second. You want to go down there and tell those poor kids that they can't afford to have a food program because you have to spend $6,000 on a hammer. And he's like, no. He goes, okay, great, then we'll do it. And he balances the budget, and at the end, everybody's clapping except for the two guys that are running everything. They're sitting there like, you motherfucker.
Because they're pocketing the
you're
money.
You're ruining everything for us.
Yeah, exactly. But it's funny. It's a perfect example. Right behind you is a wood-burning stove. That's how you keep your house warm for the most part, correct?
Don't fucking tell them.
Oh, yeah. But there's something on top of your stove that's always fascinated me.
Oh.
How does that fan work? Explain how that fan works. Make your point and explain how that fan works.
So the movie is called Dave. D-A-V.
Oh, yeah, okay. And
Kevin
Murphy.
Feige, Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, Kevin. Okay, yeah.
Funny as hell. It's very good. It's well done. It's good. Yeah. The fan.
Yeah.
The heat. It's just the heat.
So it's not plugged into anything. It's not solar powered. It's not anything, correct?
It's an echo fan.
Yeah.
It's not plugged in. It's just the heat gets this to vibrate, and it moves the. I don't have it very hot because it's kind of.
Right, but it can go faster the hotter it is, right?
The hotter I get that, but it's kind of a warm day, so.
So that is my take on politics. That is my take on politics. Literally, that is how we can run the government. Right there, that little tool is a perfect representation of how I think the government should be run. And again, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them. But literally, there's so much more we could be doing. There's free air conditioning where you put a tube in the ground far out from your house and then you come up and it's free air conditioning. No electrical, nothing.
Thermal heating and
Yep.
cooling. Yeah, for sure.
But if you want to, there's thermal heating available for they store the cold air from the winter and use it in the summer, and then vice versa. They store the heat from the summer. And it's general. Look it up. It's very fascinating. But it's like 50 grand to install solar panels. You'll never pay it off. And did you know? Fun fact. I don't know but government is also regulating the solar panels on how efficient they could be. They could be 70, 80% efficient, but they left them at like 1-2% because they don't want you taking it over. Yeah, look it up. It's true. They actually regulate how well that solar panel can work. So my point is
the
we
one
don't
on top,
have to
other
be
than the
paid.
one on top of your head.
What?
Your point.
It's on the top of my head, usually.
Sorry, go ahead.
So with that little fan back there, there's much more we can be doing, but they don't want to, and I don't get it. So when I say Canada should be sold, and it's very unpatriotic, and I'm going to be hated for it, our taxes will go down. Oh, but we have free health care, Joe. Oh, we have the illusion of free health care. Let's get it right. And every year, they're taking things off the OHIP. I don't know, maybe I've been living under a rock, but I was at the eye doctor with my son, and they said to my son, oh, you're 19 now. This is your last free OHIP covered eye exam until you're 65. So I didn't know this because I don't really check my eyeballs because I see just fine. There's 6 of you, and I'm okay with that. and I'm thinking to myself, like, every year it's the same thing. It's less and less covered by OHIP. So don't tell me, oh, we have free health care. No, we pay through the nose for it, and we give out $10, and we don't even get $1 back in value. So when I say, yeah, give us the 51st state and make governor, please don't make Trudeau the governor, but I say I'm all for it. Less taxes, because they pay for health insurance there, but can afford it because they have more money in their bank. They can save more money. They can do more with their life. If you go to Buffalo, New York, and Niagara Falls, the U.S. side of Niagara Falls, the same house, 3-bedroom, 2 kilometers or miles from each other, are like half, like 200,000 for the one in the U.S. and 700,000 for the one in Canada. Come on, it's the same place, man.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple of things.
Yes.
We do kind of have free health care. Unfortunately, things do cost money, and you do have to pay a little bit for stuff, and benefits cover for other stuff. You can get stuff for free, but you're going to have to get in line. People have died in waiting rooms waiting to be looked after because we're so busy. Our healthcare is a mess.
Yeah.
OHIP does definitely taking things off.
Yeah.
The better things, and you have to go back to generic things that may not work as well. Stuff like that. It's definitely a system. I mean, you look at the news, and they're all crying about the healthcare is broken, healthcare is broken, healthcare. Doug Ford destroyed the healthcare. Doug Ford destroyed the healthcare.
Parking garages that help kids.
Now they're saying, oh, our health. We don't want to become the States because our healthcare is the best in the world. Well, which is it? The best in the world, or is it destroyed? It's one or the other. It's not great. But it's not bad if you can get it. The money thing. Our Canadian dollars, well, I don't know what it is, but what is it? Half the price of an American dollar or a bit more?
$1.44 American.
So if
is the value of the dollar.
Half. So if we do become American, my $1 million is now only worth $500,000. So my $1 million house is really only worth $500,000. That house on the Canadian side, which is $750,000, and on the other side is $350,000. There's your difference.
Somewhat, yes. There is obviously that factor for sure.
A bonus for me is You can move wherever you want
Absolutely.
and not have a passport.
Absolutely.
Right now, unless I
Massive.
go, there's snow everywhere in Canada. I live in
and some of the U.S. Don't go to Florida right now, folks. It's under siege.
I live in one of the most southern places, obviously in Ontario, and it gets to minus 30. The snow is 4 or 5 feet deep for a month and a half to 2 months, and I'm further south than Montana, all the northern states. I live further south than them. So, I mean, how much further south can you go? You can't get any further south. You can a little bit, but you know what I mean? That's why everybody in Canada is all pretty much along the border. Because you can't go too far north or it gets harsh and it's tough to live up there. So that would be a bonus.
That would be a bonus. I mean, I would love to live in Hawaii for 6 months and then live here and not have to worry about it. And then if the snow continues, if the snow persists, I'm like, maybe another week. Let's give it some time. Let's give it some time there.
And for me, it'd be nice to be able. It would expand my hunting adventures.
It would. It really would. Yeah. More Bigfoots here, though. So I don't know what you're hunting, but there's more Bigfoots here. I heard.
You think so?
I don't know.
I think so.
So back to Canada. Have you seen this economic force? Are you going to use military force, Mr. Trump, Mr. President Trump? Nope, but I'm going to economically force these Canuckers. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, when he's talking about securing our borders.
And it's so important. They're not realizing how important that is. We bring in 240,000 people from India, and then their visa expires, and they're like, I'm not going home. I'm staying here.
That's the point. The media and everybody's focusing on the Canadian-U.S. border. Oh, let's get drones to fly up and down the border to secure our border. And this, he's not necessarily talking about that. There's an article. There was 50,000 foreign students on foreign visas to come into Canada to go to school.
They never showed up to school.
And they didn't even fucking show up. And they disappeared. Nobody knows where they are.
Oh, hello, Akbar. What? You in there? We can't find them.
So they could be anybody. They could be terrorists. They could be people looking to cause. They could be people who just kind of trying to get away from whatever. But we know terrorists come and they want to commit terrorist acts on American soils and stuff. That's a problem. That's one of the problems he's talking about for sure.
And if it was, let's say, let's break it down to this. If you were the president, let's say it was dad of the house. You were the father. You're the father of your house, right? And you have to protect your wife and your children. Would you just leave the door open all night? Would you just say, oh yeah, just leave the door? No, you shut the damn door and lock it, because that's what he's saying. He's not saying, he wants it. Everybody thinks he's over this. The Gulf of Mexico is now the Gulf of America. He wants Greenland. He wants Canada. He just wants to take over the world. He's a madman. No, he's trying to protect the world. He's trying to protect the world.
Yeah, I'm not sure with all this Panama Canal. Like, I understand the Panama Canal thing, especially if Chinese are in there. I mean, Chinese.
They gave it to Panama, and then Panama's like, China, you handle it. That's not what it was intended for.
Yeah, and definitely the Chinese are trying to economically bankrupt America and stuff. Obviously, they're fighting a war through economics that way too, right? Privately, for sure.
BRICS and all that. Yeah.
So I get it. But sending troops and all that down there, I mean, that's the latest Democrat Biden administration. They're the forever war people, and that's no good. That's no good. Yeah. So hopefully that gets fucking settled without having to start a fucking war.
Because World War III is dangerously close. So there's the thing, though. Canada and U.S. would be an economic superpower, untouched by anyone in the world. He wasn't the first to come up with this, Doug. Let's take them back. Let's take the folks way back, way back. 1911. El Presidente, who was it there? Champ Clark actually brought it up in 1911 in a trade agreement when they were trying to do a trade. They were starting the trade agreement. Some think that it was a joke or it was to sabotage the trade agreement. So it's interesting that he wasn't the first to bring it up. Cam Clark. A little history lesson there for you.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought I'd
homework.
do a little homework for you. But the thing is the World Economic Forum, in my opinion, Trudeau's definitely a big part of that.
Oh, yeah.
And there's evidence of that. So
And
you
Mark
could say it's an
Carney
opinion, but there's some fact there
and-
too. They want to bankrupt all the countries, and I think that was their goal. I mean, they spent like crazy because they want one world government, one world digital currency. They want all that because it's part of their agenda.
Yeah, so the World Economic Forum, it's been around a long time, obviously.
It has. Good old George Soros.
It kind of started as, the richest people in the world that control lots of companies, right? And then it's morphed into them hosting, world leaders, all in Davos, all, flashy dashy, stuff that we way above us. And they convince all these world leaders to enact laws that'll enrich their companies. That's it. It's all about money.
So lobbying.
You know what?
I think lobbying is disgusting. I think that corporations take over the elections.
Yeah,
and the World Economic do it on a super scale.
Always going to happen, but when governments start catering to the small groups that are just the loudest, and they use them to divide people and stuff, which was the whole Trudeau liberal thing. I mean, the Trudeau liberal thing isn't even liberal. Let's be real. Real liberalism, Trudeau's just totally destroyed that. So becoming the 51st state.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would we all become one state, or would we become, how many provinces and territories?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. So some debate that there should be like the liberal and the conservative. So what is it? The Democrats and the Republicans. So the liberal side would be like Nova Scotia, where my buddy Vincent is. He can have it. I don't want it. And then like Ontario over would be like the Democrats. Democrats. So Republicans, and then the Democrats would be on the other side. Yeah. So it would actually be two states.
Would each province become a state?
No,
Alberta would be a state. Ontario would be a state.
I think they're going to go the other way, and either the whole thing or they're going to split it. Because I think they got to think of population numbers, right? As far as the electoral college goes or whatever, right?
Well, you just get less votes in the electoral college, that's all.
But I think they would do it like a split. I think. But,
listen, I am an American. Let me clarify that. I'm a North American.
North American. Yeah, so that's why this whole Gulf of
North
America doesn't bother me.
CAN at the end.
Oh, snap! You see what he did there, folks? Oh, brilliant, Douglas. Brilliant. But, we're all like South America, North America. It's not like America is USA only exclusive. So the Gulf of America, it doesn't bother me to change the name. It doesn't bother me. It's a little arrogant, but it doesn't bother me.
I don't give a flying.
And did you know that
in the scheme of problems in the world,
it would solve a lot?
It's only in America that it actually changed. Nobody else has to change it on their maps. Really, it's for them.
And they're not. They're like,
make you feel better. Have fun. I don't care.
So Canada trains
most
of the American military.
You know what he's doing with that, though? He's trying to bring back pride in America and everything. Just like here,
and that makes
Trudeau
sense.
Trying to destroy our nationalism, this, that, and everything else, right? It's like you should be proud of your country, which Trump showed that Canadians actually are. because, Trudeau was saying we weren't, that we shouldn't be because of our history so bad and everything else, right?
And some have a theory that Trump did exactly that. He put that into motion in the first place to bring us together. That was one theory. It's clever. I mean, it worked. I still want to. I still want to be American,
for
but
sure.
it worked for most Canadians.
He made the most left-wing rally and the right-wing, far-right patriots like that.
He did indeed. So I like what Doug Ford did, though. Doug Ford for Prime Minister, but that's I'm in a very select view on that one. But or Danielle in Alberta, but I don't. The hat. Canada's not for sale. Brilliant.
Well, the guy I don't know if that's such a great idea.
It was great.
Yeah, I don't know if that's such a great idea. We need to have representatives down there talking and getting this fucking thing sorted out. Trudeau went and bought a drones to fly up and down the border to watch the border, and it turns out those drones he bought were from China.
A lot of the military equipment's made with Chinese components. It's like, and you're worried about TikTok? TikTok's your biggest concern.
You know what? It's the silence. It's the silence, the free speech, and it's the control the message. That's all it's about. So
they claim once they came back online that you couldn't see anything about the fires, you couldn't see anything about the controversial stuff. Those videos were suppressed.
Interesting. But yeah, I don't think we're going to become a 51st state, but it's something to talk about while he goes and does all this stuff.
The union, now there's something there. The union would be just as powerful to become a union like the UK did. But it failed for them. It was a failed experiment. Maybe we can do it better than they did, but
yeah, I think there's
something there.
Like everybody's bashing Kevin O'Leary, calling him a sellout, this, that, and everything else. When he went to Mar-a-Lago to talk to Trump about it. But what he was trying to sell them was a situation like the EU. Setting up a situation like the EU over here in North America.
Yep.
Again, there's a lot of issues with the EU, open borders and all that kind of shit.
Maybe we learn from their mistakes, right?
Yeah. The biggest issue I have about that is, to the best of my knowledge, is the people that run the EU are not elected. They're represented. They're picked representatives, and they're dictating the rules and the laws to everybody. Fuck that.
That's my other argument. Is Canada really Canada anymore? The race for the liberal leader. If you're in India and you pay to be a liberal member, you can decide who becomes in power.
You don't have to pay to become a liberal member. You don't have to pay. Just 14 and over.
I have to pay to be a conservative member. You
don't even have to be a Canadian citizen. I think
that's
you
what
have
I'm
to
saying.
have Canadian address.
So how Canadian? How could you say you're Canadian when foreigners are deciding who's going to lead the Liberal Party?
Well, exactly. Well, yeah, among the people that are, some of them are. The thing is, in the past, when a prime minister steps down, somebody that's already elected becomes the intern. Rona Ambrosia, whatever her name was, she became an intern, right? I think you said Paul Martin was.
Paul Martin, yeah.
Right? Our first female prime minister, Kim Campbell, she was, right? Oh, I don't know the exact.
If they had a female, and we did. Okay.
Yeah, Kim Campbell, but she was only like the prime minister stepped down a month or two before the election, so she was the prime minister for a month or two or something.
She still holds the title.
Exactly, but she
probably has it on her wall.
But she lost. I mean, I think she was the Conservatives, and they lost horribly in that election. But that's why the prime minister stepped down. But she was an elected representative who became one. In this election, this time around, because he pro's government shuts down Parliament for 3 months, which is unheard of. Yes, other guys have done it for a short period of time to reset
Short
Parliament,
period of time. That's the difference.
not to run a party election, and they may elect somebody who has not been elected by the general Canadian citizens, and he may become prime minister. We got a fucked up system. That's a fucked up system.
That hurts the brain. But Christina Freeland, what is wrong with her? Did you see her in that interview? What is happening with that girl? She's on drugs, man.
Vaccine injury.
I think it is definitely a vaccine side effect for sure.
Yeah, she's got anxiety something. Like I don't know.
I think it was from the too many people asking too many questions. I think that was her reaction
She does it all the time now, though.
Questions. But
Does it all
you're
the time?
trying to lead the free world. And if you can't handle a barrage of questions, how are you going to stand up against Trump?
She's wiped all her WEF connections off the internet. Or off, well, everything's on the internet for everything, but the website of her being part of the WF board, that's
she's
gone.
Definitely Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde.
All her social media is gone. I love how they even Carney, I love how they're like, Carney's built his whole life, green energy, carbon tax. Yeah, Canada's good with the carbon tax, but they're not paying enough.
Yeah, and then
Christian Freeland has pushed it right to the end, and now all of a sudden, yeah, if I get elected, I'll drop the carbon tax. Where have I heard a liberal leader lie before just to get elected? Mr. Chrétien, I will abolish the GST. We still have the GST, by the way.
But they lie all the time. Let's build the 407. We'll make it a toll route until you pay for it, and then we'll get rid of it. What I meant by get rid of it, I mean sell it to Spain.
Yeah, and that was a conservative government that sold it to Spain, right?
That's why everybody's like, Poulvier's the answer. Poulvier's the answer. No, he's the best of the worst. All politicians.
He's the answer. He's the answer right now.
He's the answer
to get rid of what we got, and then we'll hold him accountable.
But do we though? Do we really hold them accountable? We never really do. There's got to be stricter laws of them lying, breaking the law, doing what they do. It's got to change.
They've done it in the past, but not to the extent that this Trudeau government has exploited all the loopholes for all their corruption. How many MPs have been caught, giving companies money and grants that they've ended up being connected to. I know nothing about. No. And then at the end, they get found out. So what happens? They just get moved out of the limelight into the background. But there's still MPs collecting money, and the company's still getting the fucking funds. Our taxpayer dollars.
And that's what I was saying. The fan in the back. I mean, our money is wasted. Our money is it's stopped. I'm trying to make a point here, fam. Jeez, spin that shit.
You're gonna get a log in the fire. I'm gonna put a log in the Barbie.
My goodness, but if we just change the way we spend, I mean, everybody's like, AI, they're gonna take over, they're gonna take our jobs. Our jobs are already gone. You call the call center, it's in the Philippines. Don't tell me we have jobs and AI is gonna take them.
Well, one thing I hope comes true is I hope we do go from a credit card society to a strong paycheck society again when the election finally happens, which I don't think will be until the fall. I think whoever gets in, Jagmeet Singh said he would vote non-confidence if
he says a lot of things.
If Trudeau stayed there. Well, Trudeau's gone. He's got a new one, so he's going to back out.
Well, he'll have an excuse at that point, right?
Well, yeah, so we won't be going until the fall, unfortunately. But hey,
I don't trust Trudeau's going to step down. No, I want it on record that he did not say, I will step down. He said, I will step down if, and he didn't say if there's an election.
When we have.
He said, when we have a fair process.
Yeah.
He didn't use the word election. So I think he again, you said he exploits every loophole possible to stay in power and to bend everything to his will. So I think he is up to something. He can go back and say, I did not say I was going to step down. I said I was going to step down if and when. And if those if and whens don't happen, he can stay in.
Well,
or at least extend it.
Here's my
that
two
we didn't
cents.
even ask for? Okay.
I think Carney and Christopher Freeland are both connected to WEF. I think Carney way much more than Christopher Freeland. I think Christopher Freeland burnt her bridges with the WEF when she sewered Trudeau the way she sewered Trudeau. I think she burnt her bridges with the WEF then. So then the WEF installs Carney to be the prime minister because they need a WEF plant running Canada.
But they'll give her a second chance if she toes the line. They'll give her a second chance. They need that power.
See, and I think the Liberal Party right now is having a bit of a civil war because you have all the kind of regular, liberal MPs and stuff that believed in the old liberalism way, backing up Chrystia Freeland, and you have all the new radical ones, that Justin Trudeau brought in and allowed them to steal money and filter money here, there, and everywhere, are all back in Carney. And the other thing funny about that is Trudeau went and chastised America because they had a choice and they set back feminism by not electing a female president this time around. And last time.
He did say that. He did say that.
Oh, but who's he backing now? Not Chrystia Freeland. He's backing the man. The
and his bro. It's his bud. It's his buddy. Crazy. It's his pal.
Well, yeah. But he's also like the godfather of Chrystia Freeland's kid.
Is that not conflict of interest? I mean,
it's so weird.
So Canada's military.
It's kind of like English royalty and the German royalty. They're all intertwined.
Way back in the day, the World War I, it was cousins going, get you, cousin! They were playing the game of Risk, and they're like, let's do this for real.
Great game.
Great game. But Canada's military trains the U.S. military. So everybody has this... Yeah, Canada trains the U.S. military a lot. I know this because I used to drive the British and Canadian military a lot in Medicine Hat in taxis. They train them a lot, especially in winter warfare. I mean, they almost have it down, Canada, as much as the Russians do. I'm telling you, they know Canada or winter warfare more than anybody, except for Russia.
Well, Trudeau also allowed China to come here and train winter warfare.
They have their own police, too. Oh, disgusting. But anyways.
Yeah, police stations. Whatever happened to that? The Chinese police stations.
I think they quietly brushed it away after there was some backlash. So then, my point on that is, I honestly believe, and I've heard this from some top people in the military, not that I'm being a little arrogant there, but taxi, they say a lot of things in the taxi. It's kind of like the bartender relationship. But anyways, Canada is the best kept secret in the military. We used to have the joke that the West Edmonton Mall has more submarines than our Canadian military. Do you remember that joke, Doug?
Yeah.
But I think we're like a sleeper cell. I think it's more powerful than people think. I honestly think that. When they tried to mess with us in 1812, what happened then? We kicked them to the curb and burnt down the White House.
I don't think our army is I don't think we're... I don't know how to put this properly. Whatever. I don't think we're as strong or as mentally strong or capable as we once used to be right now.
Okay, that's fair. I'm going back.
I think with all 10, the diversity programs and stuff that the Warriors have left you've booted out. A lot of them have left because
it's just not the same anymore. Like I said, Canada isn't Canada anymore.
But we will be again.
We could be again.
No, we will be. We'll make it. We'll do it.
Who's going to do that? Polvier?
Me.
I would vote for you right now.
No,
Give me
I'm
the
not.
ballot.
Listen, there's no way I'm going to run in government. There's no way. No way. First of all, my closet full of skeletons is way too fucking big.
We're not telling anybody nothing.
Things. There's way too many fucking things in there.
Spooky, spooky skeleton. Spooky. So,
well, we're going to hold our elected leaders, and now more than ever, especially since COVID.
That's the difference. If France has a problem with their leaders, every single citizen takes to the street and says, "Fuck you." We don't do that. We don't do that. We let it ride. We're like, okay, no lube this time. No lube this time. Okay. That's how we take it, and it's not right. It's not right, man.
I think times have changed, so.
Well, I think more people are woke up. I think more people woke up, and we have more strong voices. I don't remember the guy. He kind of went away for a bit, but he's been arrested a lot. I think he's...
In Canada?
Yeah, he's a guy that went around with rallies, and then he was going to run or something for something, the mayor. Who was this guy?
The Diagolon guy?
Maybe, but yeah, like, so there's more leaders stepping up, is my point. Even, say what you want about Kevin O'Leary. He was going to run. I was going to vote for him. I think we need to change it up. We don't need a career politician as the prime minister. The business model has been proven in the U.S. We need a damn businessman. Or a guy that stokes his fire, like with a beard and glasses and antler hats. Like, we need Chris Rock. Remember that movie? He became president. He was an alderman, but he was a little more political than I think we should need. But and the movie you mentioned, Dave, they got a lookalike, and this guy balanced the budget in 5 minutes because he stopped spending $6,000 on a hammer. We need to stop electing politicians. We need someone to run, Douglas. We need someone to run that isn't a damn politician that's worried about his pension. Cancel the damn pensions. That's another thing. They make enough money on their own, their fame and everything. Cancel their damn pension. Stop wasting money. Become the fan that's still not operating after you put a log on. I'm trying to make a point here, fan.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit.
Now, another way to stop funding or make our Canada stronger is to put us first, like Trudeau is. I mean, Trump is. Trudeau's putting himself first. Yeah, take a page from Trudeau's book and put Canada first, like he puts himself first.
Listen. If you run your household, you got to look after your wife and your kids and yourself first.
Yeah.
And then you can start giving to charities.
Yes, on the plane, when you drop the oxygen, they say put the oxygen on yourself first. If you're passed out, how are you going to help your child?
Yeah, exactly.
How are you going to help your child? Stop sending money everywhere else.
I'm going on a plane soon. Can you change that plane crash analogy? I'm going on a plane soon. Let's change that plane crash analogy.
Where are you going?
Nashville.
Oh, again? Okay.
March.
Nashville. Okay.
Yeah.
So the plane analogy doesn't. They just need.
We're going to hit every country singer, every singer's bar down in Nashville.
Nice. Are you going to sing? Play some guitar?
Going to watch the Leafs play Nashville Predators too.
Yeah. How'd you like the move to Utah there? I think it did good for the team. For
that's Phoenix, right?
Phoenix. I know. I think that they kind of turned it around after they moved to Utah. What a fiasco! Is that true? The rumor that Gary Bettman's stepping down? He's going to retire. I heard
he's announcing his retirement plan.
Oh, you know how happy hockey fans are going to be? We might get Quebec back. He hates Quebec.
You might get somebody worse.
Yeah.
So,
well,
that's the way it goes.
I think that's our show, folks. Canada is, or isn't, for sale. I think the jury's still out.
Well, That is
our 2 cents.
that you didn't ask for. Pull my finger.
Yabba dabba dee dabba dooba dee da dee doodle dabba dabba dooba doo.